edition that we are hosting in Kampala this year, 2024. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Now, the Vice President of the Council of the Republic of Cuba, Salvador Valdor Mesa, has arrived in Uganda ahead of the non-aligned presidential summit due this Friday, this very week. Salvador touched Entebbe International Airport at 11 a.m. aboard the Ethiopian Airways flight. At Entebbe International Airport, he was in company of top Cuban government officials. He was received by Minister in charge of the presidency, Millie Babalanda, and the head of public service, Lucy Nachobe. On the 19th of April 2023, Salvador was re-elected by the National Assembly for a second 5-year term as Vice President of the Council Republic of Cuba. He is the first Vice President of the Cuba since April 2018 and is a member of the Political Bureau of the Communist Party of Cuba. He was elected to succeed Miguel Diaz-Canel as first Vice President of Cuba on the 19th of April 2018. Salvador Valdez was part of the Association of Young Rebels since 1961 after the triumph of the Cuban Revolution. He was a leader of the Workers' Central Union of Cuba and the Communist Party of Cuba. He served as Minister of Labor and Social Security between 1995 and 1999 when he was elected first Secretary of the PCC in the province of Kamagay. He has been a deputy of the National Assembly of People's Power since 1993. He's also a member of the Political Council of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Cuba and a member of the Council of State, where he holds a position as one of the 5 vice presidents. Now, our colleague Timothy Nyangweso had an in-depth analysis on a number of issues discussed by the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the NAM member states. Top on agenda, the adoption of the domestication of the Kampala final document. Let's have a look at this analysis. UBC Lunchtime News, we thank you so much for watching. Now, Uganda woke up to a sad story, sad news of the demise of the former MP for Dokolo District, a senior member of parliament and a senior citizen, the Honorable Cecilia Barbara Atim Ogwal. Barbara Atim Ogwal has been a member of parliament for Dokolo County, which was Dokolo County, now district, and she was also a member of the Forum for Democratic Change, formerly a member of the Uganda People's Congress. She died, and the information was all over this morning. Uganda woke up to the sad news of her demise. May her soul rest in eternal peace. As UBC TV will keep you posted to whatever developments that will come in following losing the Honorable Atim Ogwal. Now, the Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa of Tanzania has also arrived to represent the President of the Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu, at the Non-Aligned Movement Presidential Summit scheduled to take off on Friday this week, that is tomorrow, at the Speak Resort, Munyonyo. Kassim Majaliwa touched Entebbe International Airport at midday in company of top Tanzanian government officials. The incumbent Prime Minister, Majaliwa, was appointed by the President, the late John Magufuli. He took the office on the 20th of November 2015. Majaliwa was first elected to Parliament in the 2010 general election on the Chama cha Mapinduzi ticket from Ruangwa. He was Deputy Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office for Regional Administration and Local Government from the year 2010 to 2015. And in 2015 general election, he was re-elected from Ruangwa, defeating Omaria Makota of the Civil United Front by a margin of 31,281 votes to 25,536 votes. After John Magufuli was sworn in as President of Tanzania following the 2015 general election, he appointed Majaliwa as Prime Minister on the 19th of November 2015. His appointment was a surprise even to himself, given that he was a relative newcomer to the electoral politics. His selection was attributed to his humility, honesty, work ethic, as well as regional considerations. The new Prime Minister was expected to be from the southern part of the country where Majaliwa comes from. His experience in education as a teacher, trade unionist, and deputy minister was also expected to be an asset in the President Magufuli's stated desire to reform the sector. The opposition criticized his election, citing lack of experience. Now, 3 heads of state jetted into Uganda yesterday evening to attend the IGAD summit scheduled for today, Thursday, the 18th of January, 2024. The presidents included President Salva Kiir of South Sudan, Ismail Omar of Djibouti, and Hassan Mohammed of Somalia.
Well, Nam Kija, Edward Kija Nangoma, back there at UBC at the broad. The arrangements are still going on to ensure that by the time or by that minute where we begin receiving high-end delegates or delegations, we will be at the best moment to give you what we expect from not only us as UBC, but as the country at large. Preparations are going on, as I said, and we have seen these are ranging from those teams which are going to be mounting here the Guard of Honor have also already made their way into this place. We have seen those cultural, or those ones going to be taking us through the cultural performance. They have also already stationed themselves here at the VVIP terminal to ensure that by the time we begin off business today, they will be at that position to share with you most of the experiences and probably give you what really stands out when you mention the word Uganda. Oh, we have been told that many people who are coming in the country, they want to really have a feel of what we have always been telling them, that indeed we are the power of Africa. As UBC, we have also tried to make sure that we prepare our gadgets and equipment to ensure that by the time we begin off this assignment, then we will be in a position to deliver the best for you. For those who are following on our social media platforms, we have kept on at least updating you on what is exactly happening here. Last night, we did receive the Minister for Foreign Affairs and also the Vice Deputy Minister from the Republic of DRC, and that was Christophe Rutunduru, who came with a delegation of more than 5 or 4 people to ensure that they also try and come and represent their country. We are not sure whether the President of DRC will be making his way here, because we know he's also shortly preparing to at least go for the swearing in. We all know he has just been elected recently to serve almost his second term in office as a president. Then we shall be confirming such arrangements or changing program wherever we will be getting them. Then I'm told government has also lined up a team of more than 30 ministers to be coming here on almost a daily basis to receive these high-end dignitaries, including heads of state and heads of delegations. I was also reading somewhere and they were telling us that these ministers a few days ago, they are also continuing to do the rehearsals on what exactly is expected from them in as far as this arrangement. So Kija, we can pause it from here for now, But we are saying keep your eyes on UBC for the latest and on-time updates from here at the VVIP terminal. Still, I'm Robert Onyango.
UBC News Tonight. Now, our reporter Deborah Namamonde had a discussion with the legal mind on the legal perspective of the activities of the non-aligned movement and the summit in general. We want to share this kind of information with you in this report.
Non-aligned movement, meaning that it was created in the days of the Cold War between the Western Axis and the Eastern Axis. That is America, Britain, the Western powers, and then Russia, probably could even say the USSR at that time. There was what we call a Cold War of superiority of power. It wasn't an open war of battle, but it meant that many countries in the world needed to associate themselves either with the West or with the East. Now, low-developed countries, countries in Africa that benefited or wanted to benefit from both the West or the East, decided to create a middle ground. As we understand it, the non-aligned movement, which had their own unique challenges. You know, the third world countries may not necessarily easily associate strictly with one group. And you see it happening even up to today. So that is what NAM can be viewed as up to now. Of course, things have now changed. A lot of dynamics have happened. To one extent, some of those countries that used to belong to the non-aligned movement, to an extent, may be leaning more to one side as compared to the other. The priorities at that time probably have changed a bit. But basically, that is what NAM is about, where you have the subaltern countries, the third world countries, associating themselves with themselves in order to demand for the unique responses to their unique issues as mainly third world or developing nations.
Do you see any crisis of countries coming together or forming a body that unites them? Do you see any?
No, I don't think there is a problem. Because we live in a globalized world, you are better together. United you stand, divided you fall. It is easier to negotiate for certain things as a group as opposed to when you are an individual. So you find, for example, the United States of America, when fighting terrorism, President Bush at that time said, you're either with us or against us, you know. So he had what we call the coalition of the willing, you know. World wars all around, the two world wars that have been fought in, on this continent, the main two world wars, you found that one group associated with one side and the other group associated with the other. You had Germany, Japan, Italy on one end, and then USA, Britain, France, and others on the other end. Even in Africa, you tended to see the colonies had to support the countries that colonized them. And so associating is very important. It helps you negotiate and also to get protected. So you see, for example, NATO. North Atlantic Trade Organization coming together to be able to protect each other. And so when you hear about the Ukraine versus Russia war, in there is the whole NATO coalition that is, you could say, supporting Ukraine, and then Russia on the other hand. and amongst in that situation, you find countries such as Uganda saying that we are not going to take sides. You know, we are not aligning ourselves with any side.